Okay, so it is time. Today I'm going to instead do top 5 best movies of 2021. 2021 was a pretty good year for movies. We had a couple of very good movies that came out. One of them, actually, number one, is actually my favorite movie of the last 2 years, actually. Yeah, that's right. The number one movie is my favorite of both 2021 and 2020. So, I'm going now to talk about top 5 best movies of 2021. So, number 5, The Last Duel. Yeah, The Last Duel is a medieval movie. One of the things you have to know about me, I'm a medieval geek. I love medieval times. Ridley Scott's Kingdom of Heaven is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I also loved his 2010 Robin Hood. So of course, when this movie was announced, I was really excited for Ridley Scott to go back to medieval times. Because he's really good at making historical medieval movies. So of course, and when I went to see this movie, it did not disappoint. It did not exceed my expectations, but it met them, and it was a great movie. Like I liked how it told the story from 3 different perspectives of Lady Marguerite, her husband Jean de Rouge, and his friend who raped Lady Marguerite, Jacques de la Gris. And in the end, the movie ends with a duel between Jacques de la Gris and Jean de Carouge. And the point is, at this point it was hard to feel sympathetic for either of the characters, because neither one of them was really sympathetic at this point. And I only rooted for Jean was because Lady Marguerite would be burned at the stake if Jacques won the duel. At this point, she was the only sympathetic character in the movie. And I also liked how it was very small scale. It was not a big scale movie like... It was not a big scale movie like Kingdom of Heaven or Robin Hood. It was a small scale contained to a small town in northern France, in Normandy. And I like that change. So overall, The Last Duel, pretty good movie, and number 5 on the list. Number 4. Spiderman No Way Home. This movie seems to be on most people's favorite list of 2021, and I'm not surprised. Like, everyone loves Spider-Man, and this is one of the best Spider movies ever made, if not the best. Like, I really loved MCU Spider-Man in general. I really liked Homecoming, I loved Far From Home, but No Way Home is very much above them both. Peter Parker, Spider-Man, asks Doctor Strange to change reality in order to make everyone forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but that backfires. And it brings characters from the different Spider-Man movies into the MCU universe, including Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans, as well as the villains. On a first glance, it seems like it sounds absurd, but they make this plot work very well. And it actually serves as a nice character development for Peter Parker. Peter Parker from the MCU. And the nostalgia is used very well. The attention to detail is incredible and very clear. It's clear that the writers very much paid attention to the different Spider-Man movies that the movie references. The ending is very bittersweet. In some ways it's sad, but it was necessary or otherwise bad things would happen. So yeah, I love Spider-Man No Way Home. It's definitely my top 3 favorite MCU movies, and it's definitely the best MCU movie post-Endgame. Number 3, Dune. Yeah, this was my most anticipated movie of 2021 actually, and it delivered a lot. It was almost everything I wanted it to be. First, the visuals are beautiful. Some of the best visuals I ever seen in any movie, comparable to visuals in The Lord of the Rings. By the way, The Lord of the Rings are my favorite movies of all time. But returning to Dune, yeah, the visuals were amazing. It definitely did the book justice. I remember how I read the book in high school. I went to a boarding school in the United States, in the state of Rhode Island. Those are some of my best life memories. And I remember how we read this novel for my English class. And I really loved it. And now this movie very much done it justice. The characters are also very likable. And honestly, the only reason this movie is not number 1 or 2 is because admittedly there wasn't a huge payoff. Because it's clear that the story is only just beginning. This movie was clearly very much a setup. But if they actually deliver with part 2 and give us all the payoff we deserve, then this has a chance to be one of the greatest movies of the decade. So yeah, as I said, the only reason it's not much higher on the list is because the story is only beginning and we didn't get a payoff yet. But there's a high chance this will be moved to number 1 spot at some point. Number 2, and this is a very, very shocking choice, but it's Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yeah, fun fact about me. I was never into Ghostbusters. Like the original 80s Ghostbusters movie, it never spoke to me. I watched it because of how popular it was, but for some reason it didn't appeal to me. And now, recently, because of this movie coming out, plus the fact that it's a favorite of lots of film buffs, I gave it another watch. And while still I didn't really like it, I did somewhat like it more than I liked it when I first watched it. I respect the movie and I respect it's lots of people's favorites. But me personally, it never really spoke to me. But still, I decided to go and watch that soft reboot. And I must say, I was really surprised how much I loved it. Like, the new characters are amazing. The story is really good. And even the ending is incredible. Like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of the original Ghostbusters movie. But still, even to me, the ending, when the original cast comes back, was pretty great. And overall, the movie had a really good story, great characters. It did nostalgia for fans right. And overall, it was a pure joy to watch. And I'm really surprised it made it all the way to number 2. And I know it's a very unpopular opinion, but I liked it a lot more than I liked the 80s movie. Unpopular opinion, but hey, we all got different opinions, don't we? So yeah, I'm proud to put Ghostbusters Afterlife at number 2. And my number 1 favorite movie of 2021 and my favorite movie of the last 2 years is Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yes, I really loved that movie. Like, I was always more of the DC person than a Marvel person. Like, I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, while the DC Cinematic Universe has always been very messy. But for most of the time, for comics, for TV shows, for animated movies, I was always much more of a DC person. Like, Batman the Animated Series and Justice League Unlimited are both still some of my favorite shows of all time. And this movie almost made me feel like I was watching Justice League Unlimited. I mean, like I was watching one of the episodes of Justice League Unlimited. Like, it was really great movie. Like, the color palette was amazing and it very much fit well with the movie. The visuals were great. Like, I love the gritty and brutal tone of the movie. And it very much felt like Zack Snyder. It felt like DC, and it felt like Zack Snyder as well. And the story was very much coherent and much better than the Justice League we got in theaters, because the Justice League we got in theaters, I say, was pretty bad. It was very messy and all. Like, I remember how hyped up I was for it, because I loved Wonder Woman. I was very hyped for Justice League. But then the movie really disappointed me. But this movie was everything I wanted Justice League to be, and so much more. And I will also say the design of Steppenwolf is one of the best villain designs I ever seen in any movie. Like, he looks amazing. And honestly, his original design, while it wasn't bad, it was terrible compared to the design in this movie. So yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League, I'm happy to call it one of the best DC movies ever, one of the best comic book movies, and definitely the best movie of 2021. So yeah, that was my top 5 favorite movies of 2021. Yeah, please tell me yours in the comments. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe to this channel, press the like button, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!